So folks, welcome to this episode of The Rumble. My guest today is a lady who's in a kind of unusual profession. I say unusual because 90% of the Indians wouldn't have watched her work. The people who watch her work are those who know or want to know about India but don't live here. Okay, I'll let the cat out of the bag. She is a person who puts subtitles on movies. So welcome to the show, Rekhs.
Hi, good to be here.
Thanks for coming on really short notice. Tell me, you've been doing this job is something that you slipped into automatically because somebody else told you, or you discovered it?
I would say serendipity and destiny, as I call it.
All right.
I think it started when I was 10 years old, and that sounds bizarre, but my mother was editor of Macmillan, Srinivasan, and she later became the Woman of the Year 2004 for her social work in Bihar. But she used to din it into my head to read a book every day from when I was 10.
Okay.
She'd come back home and then ask me to tell the whole story because she'd have read the book before me. So from when I was in my 5th grade to 11th grade, I was reading a book a day. Never did I realize that would help me. You know, when you're subtitling a film and you suddenly get.
So you mean to say your mother wanted you to start encapsulating the entire book into 25 sentences right from that age?
No, but I had to give her the synopsis at the end of the day. Okay. And I think God had this plan more than, it was something that was ordained because I never thought of subtitling as a profession. I'm saying this came into good use because you need to think in English and know the right words.
True.
And you just can't go blah, 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 blah because there's just that 3 seconds for you to convey what is being told before the next frame goes.
Okay. So the job is to convey to the viewer what exactly is being said there or whatever is going on there. What's the idea?
Whatever is going on there.
So it's not what they're saying.
It is about it, but in a gist, like it's not. It doesn't have to be verbatim. Like for example,
somebody said "day" and you say "Hey you."
Or sometimes I say "day" too because I'm bringing the Indian ethnicity there.
Okay, so people
like
used
for
to that.
instance, and to quote an example, in Batti Kuchi that was produced by Fox, the hero is telling his mom, he calls Sharanya and says, "Come here, and I'm going to profess my love to the heroine Anjali." So he says, "Come here," Ingava, which is "come here," and touches her feet. And I wrote "bless me" because I felt the Western audience is not. They're going to wonder why he's
tying
looking
her shoelaces or something.
Or searching for something.
On the floor. Yeah,
so then "come here" doesn't really convey, and "bless me" takes it to the next level of taking our culture, and which is widely appreciated. But before that, what I would like to share with you is, besides the book knowledge that I acquired, very serendipitously, I got married when I was very young, just 18, and I got married to a man who was like obsessed with movies.
Okay.
My husband Haricharan would watch a movie or 2 English movies a day, and I was just transported into this world of English films along with him. So it was a visual book.
So can you do the reverse? Watch a movie and pitch it into Tamil straight away?
Yeah, I can. But I prefer, I think I've got into this mold of Tamil to English.
But don't you think you could do a great job there? Get the classics from the West, which we don't even know they're classics because they don't make sense to us, and then bring it to our people.
That's a very good idea.
Into understandable Tamil.
Very good idea.
So maybe the time the
I
classics
also do
from
scripts. I also do scripting.
Okay.
Because when they have the movie in Tamil and they want to do a remake or show it to somebody who knows only English, like for instance the movie director Sankar said there was a major part of it that needed to be translated in English for the makeup man to understand it.
Okay. So that you write all sorts of document, you can shift it from Tamil into English.
Also Malayalam, Kannada, Telugu, because I run a company with a team for Malayalam, Telugu, Kannada.
Okay.
But more, let me tell you how I just stumbled on this. It was like very.
I know you're dying to get that out. Tell me, fast.
I have to tell you that. I never thought of subtitling as a profession, as I told you. And my husband directed this film called Thuvanam, and Madhu Ambat was the cinematographer. And he said, there's nobody really subtitling a film here, and NFDC sends it to Bombay, so why don't you try, because you're good at English. So because it was our own production, I subtitled Thuvanam, which was 2007.
Okay.
And forgot about it. See, this is why I say God has a specific plan.
Or the devil.
No, God.
Somebody's got a plan.
No, God.
Okay.
I prefer God.
Okay. All right.
And 2009 December, friend of mine who's directed this movie M3V, his name is Krishna Seshadri Gomutam. He was in Prasad Lab for an ad, and there was this boy who said, I need to send my short film to Paris Film Festival and I don't have a subtitlist. So very offhand he said, why don't you ask Rekhs, and this is her number. And in walks this boy with this short film called Bimbam. It was about gangster culture with all the Tamil swear words in the world possible. I didn't know the Tamil swear word, let alone the Tamil swear word and the English. Yeah. And he would immediately say, what do I use here? Is it motherfucker or fuckhead or whatever? And I said, you just put a beep.
Or is there an equivalent of that in
Tamil? So that was how I started it. And the film won an award in the Paris Film Festival, the short film.
Okay.
So, and then again the same friend, Krishna, HK as I call him, he said, why don't you ask Gautam Menon? He started Vinetandi Varvaya. So I called up Gautam and he said, oh, you subtitle, come over and start subtitling. And that's how I started with, other than Tuvanam being our home production, started with Vinetandi Varvaya, February.
So folks, see, a movie like Vinetandi Varvaya was been watched almost by everybody, but she still found a new market for it just because of the English subtitling. So I think it's not just people making obscure movies, but people making mainstream movies also need her help. So when you come back, you find out how the hell does she actually do it. So we talked about this, the actual subtitling as being not just a literal translation. So what are the things that you take into consideration? You really want to translate the culture of the movie so that an American or an Italian in Italy watches your movie and says, oh, I have a little idea of India. Was that also part of the intention?
I think it's a very holistic approach, Madhav, because basically Tamil, the South Indian film industry did not give importance to, like for instance, when after Vinetandi Varvaya, February to July 2010, I'd have asked about at least 40 to 50 distributors, producers, actors, directors saying, let me translate, subtitle your film, and it goes worldwide.
Yeah.
They looked at me not like I was from Venus, but I was from a totally different galaxy. And I tried telling them, this is the advantage Bollywood has over us, and we're so fond of our frog in the well avatar. And Endiran, the magic of Shankar, Rajni, Rahman, that
actually opened the doors.
It just opened the floodgates, and then everybody wanted their film subtitled. And so my journey has been a trial and error, trials and tribulation kind of thing. So at that point, I was working with NFDC because they were the ones who had the machine.
Yeah, the equipment for that sort of thing. Was it a tape-based affair those days? Was it done on a tape or was it done on computers? How was the lettering done? You didn't care about the technical
No,
side
I did
it?
a Word document and sent it to them, and they would type it in and spot it and call me to check it.
So how did it go on the film?
It was a very outdated kind of equipment.
Okay, you didn't know the outdated technology, so I don't want to ask you about the new ones either. All right, it happens in some manner.
I just knew I had to go and check it there, in NFDC. And then I realized NFDC was closing down because they weren't really, it was the real, what do you call the film?
Yeah, the film era is coming to an end. And
yeah. So that was when I stumbled on AP International. And it was actually Co. The producers of Co. did a brilliant market strategy. They screened their films with subtitles within India. It was usually only the overseas distributors who were doing it, and they realized a movie directed by K.V. Anand.
I think the language translation markets also probably opened up after you started subtitling, because say Bhojpuri producers suddenly understand, hey, Tamil movies make sense, I can make it into Bhojpuri.
Because it became a regional showcasing of regional films also within India.
Or even remove the regional tag, it'll be just like, it's a movie. I mean, to hell with it. It's a different language.
Yeah, it's a different language.
And you're making it accessible.
It's an Indian film, yeah.
Yes.
So, with Co, the owner of AP, the CEO of AP International called me and said, I believe you've subtitled Co, and can I have the subtitle file, and I'll pay you whatever you want. And I said, but I've already been paid for it. Why do I need to be paid by you? He said, come to my office. And I went, and we clicked immediately. Because he said, I have never heard of someone who says, I've already been paid. Why do I need to be paid?
Okay.
And he was looking for a subtitlist who would take his films worldwide.
And he had a lot of movies in the pipeline?
Yeah, he had, and he was also making DVDs and Blu-rays and
all
stuff
right,
like that.
so it makes
and distributing. He was an overseas distributor.
Okay.
And then he showed the best. I was like on cloud nine because he showed me his phone message from someone in UK which said, I want this only if it is subtitled by a person called Rekhs.
Wow.
I was like
that
so thrilled. Day, week, month, everything.
Okay.
So that's how we started. And then I realized he had a subtitling unit. So I went there and I started teaching the subtitling team there how to time code, because when it comes to subtitle, you do the Word document fine, you translate,
and then you don't post it correctly, and it's
gone. And it's
gone,
like it's not just
rubbish.
your knowledge of English that counts. It's like from this frame to this frame, you give time for your eye to read it.
Yeah.
So I went to an eye doctor. Don't think I'm mad. I went to an eye doctor, found out that full stops are redundant, that in a film you have about 2,500
So
subs.
you just keep rolling, that's all.
No,
So
I
worry
don't.
about punctuations.
No, I do question mark or exclamation to convey the emotion, but no full stop. Because I got this authentic research done that full stops hurt your eye actually, because you're looking at 2,500. And if Santanam is in the film, it's about 3,500.
But you won't be able to do a movie like line a minute kind of, or line a second that happens in a Santana movie. You might as well not do it. Just let it flow. I mean, can you really translate?
No,
fast comedy?
you get the punchline.
Okay.
I mean, you know
Just hit that.
what you should leave and what you should take, but get the humor out of it. And he is a big challenge.
Yes.
But the thing is, he's so committed to his profession. Like for example, in Devat Thirumagal, there was this word called agatuga, and I had no idea what agatuga meant. So I just took my phone and text. I looked at Google dictionary. I didn't come up with it. Texted him and said, "What is agatuga?" And he immediately, the next minute, I had the answer saying use and throw. So I said, "Is this your, is it original or your own, figment of your imagination?" He said, "No, it's original." And so he's the kind who knows I'm subtitling, and I'm at a loose end for a meaning, and
So
he
he
immediately.
stepped in to give you the right words when you were stumped.
Though I call him my enemy, because I know when it's a Santana movie, I'm going to take more time and use my it's a challenge.
Okay, when you guys also watch movies, I'm sure there are some times where it's like if you watch an English movie and there's English subtitling also running, it'll annoy some people. I say, why the hell is he putting the subtitling when I can hear what's being said? But there's research saying that actually improves people's conversational skills. Even reading that to figure out, is that what he said? So when we come back, find out what you should do when the conversation is really tricky. It's not just straightforward communicating of an idea, but tricky lines. Let's find out. So when we talk about subtitling, does it bother anybody that subtitles are running along with the conversation?
No, I actually figured out it doesn't, because now people have got used to HBO and Star and Netflix. Many of these which have the captioning. It's not subtitling, it's the captioning, which is the same English written down there.
Yeah.
In Satyam and Escape, where they show Tamil film subtitled every Thursday, and you can always find me there on a Thursday. And I go and ask the people from amongst the audience if it distracts them. So the ones who know Tamil say we just ignore it, we don't even look at it. Okay. And the ones who don't think it's a big bonus. So I think this...
You might be getting more North Indians getting into theatres now.
There are a lot of Japanese, British and Americans from the USIS who come and watch just because they know this has subtitles.
Okay.
In fact, I think more theatres should go in for subtitles at least once a week or...
What is their go for subtitle? You mean just their copy, they should get one subtitle one for them?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
No, on Thursdays, all shows have subtitles of a
So
Tamil
what is it?
film.
Is it just a switch on, switch off thing like a language option on a DVD? How do they?
I think Real Image sends them
an additional
copy,
file, or sends them a copy which has this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I explain the process to you
Sure.
of this whole subtitling? See, I do this Word document, and then I told you I kind of taught AP International how to do it the right way. And so they post it from this frame second to this, and then they have to, I go and check the whole thing. Then they have to generate an ASCII file, ASCII file, or an ASC file, which sent to Real Image for a cube print, transfers it on the digital, and it goes worldwide. And the thing is, you need 8 days to do this. The time frame needed is 8 days before release. But unfortunately, we are very much unprepared or unaware of like for instance, Coach Aryan doesn't come and pulls out, then there's so many movies going in all of a sudden. So I just think the best thing would be for producers, if they finish their film, to have it subtitled and finish it as a part of post-production.
Yeah. Just do it for all movies.
So from Vinay Thandi Varvaya, maybe 5% of films would be subtitled for a national award or whatever. Now it's become almost 80%. I'm very happy about that. In fact, I'd be very happy my dream would come true if all films had this as a part of.
I guess the finance minister should look into it more than the arts and the culture minister, because this will increase our revenues.
Shall I send him a link of
this?
Yeah,
we'll be seeing these, sending these movies out to the Cameroon and South Pacific Islands and places where they don't even know where India is.
Yeah.
Maybe these movies might be the one will open the door.
No, but that's what happened when we went to Shanghai.
Yeah.
I had sent Kavalan to. See, I told you between BTV and Endiran, when no one was giving me this job that I wanted to do so badly, I got in touch with all the festival directors. So Shanghai Film Festival, I wrote to them and I said, there's this Kavalan, a film by Ilayya Talapati Vijay, where there's a very unusual kind of love quotient. And I sent the movie. Vijay was very supportive and he said, go ahead, and I do want our films going worldwide. And they selected it, which was I never expected it. And Vijay and I went to China. And it was such a lovely experience.
Which part of China was it?
Shanghai.
Oh,
it was Shanghai International Film Festival.
Oh, their festival. All right.
And they loved the film. The whole audience was like some 5,000-7,000 people. And all
they make
of them,
gigantic halls.
Yeah, and they were all Chinese. Like, we were probably the only Indians. And after the movie, they got in line with the character that they said, Bhuminathan, why didn't you fall in love with Meera earlier? And they lifted him and said, you're the Jackie Chan. And, the way they related to him was amazing.
Yeah, I guess there is a certain similarity between Chinese movies and ours with all this.
They loved it. Yeah. They loved our
The only thing Chinese don't do is sing songs in the film, but that's the only additional
Apparently, they loved the songs.
They did?
And also, they felt that there should be more South Indian representation, because Bollywood goes everywhere, but not.
I know.
So that is my mission. I feel that India is just not Bollywood. We exist too. True. In no way is Tamil, Malayalam, Kannada, Telugu any, less content-wise.
That's true. You see it happening?
I think so.
Yeah. Of course, you had a good reception with this one particular movie. But what are the other kind of movies you think will strike? Because every country has a certain type of movie that they like. So what do you think will go equally well?
I think most often films that really don't do that well in the box office here, but win national awards, like Vagai Sodava, Varakan 18/9. Varakan 18/9, the person in Paris, the distributor there, called me and said, I want Varakan, get in touch with Balaji Shaktivel. And he wanted it there for a festival, and it got screened there and got an award. So, I felt when I was subtitling Varakan.
Do you think our film festivals are good enough? Or why are we always hankering after going abroad and showing it there? People won't come to our country to buy. It's like the old days when we used to have Midem, which was this, or Midem. It was this music festival. I mean, not a music. It was a festival for the music industry, where people from different parts of the world come and pick out what is a hot seller in India. And it's like if that had been happening these days, they would have had to come to that festival to figure out a Kolaveri, which now went viral. In the old days, that exchange is where it happened. So is it possible through these kind of things that you can organize a film festival where film buyers from different countries can actually come and see a movie which they can watch, understand, enjoy and select?
That's a wonderful idea, but I think we will get here very soon. Because, for example, this was something that, again, I really think God has a part to play. You can call it devil, I can call it God. But,
They're actually the same.
No. I was checking Rohini's film, Appa with Bisa in AP International. I got a call in their landline from the student from Bournemouth, Arts University of Bournemouth in London, UK. And he thought I was working for AP International because he saw Sudukavum, the DVD with my subs. My daughter and I subtitled it, and he loved it. And he went, Googled, of course, and found AP International, called them and called the number and called me. And he has now arranged a festival for the university, the students of this particular university, to watch and have a Skype interaction with them. So he got in touch with me, and we had to organize and get the print shipped over and stuff like that. But that's very interesting because it benefits visual communication or art students and this it's amazing how Shashi, he's just an undergrad student. He's not a celebrity or most filmy background or whatever. It's just his enthusiasm. He felt Bollywood has had overexposure and we don't,
Well, Rekhs, I can see the enthusiasm coming out of you. So thanks for coming across, and we should follow up once again when the festivals actually happen. We probably need to talk once again.
I loved being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was extremely comfortable talking to you. Thanks, Rumble.
Thank you.